So I just wanted to say thank you for the offer, Rebecca. I don't want you to think that I didn't want you coming,
I didn't
but
think that.
I didn't want you wasting all that time to come all the way up there. But thank you anyway.
You're welcome.
We did get 8 names signed up on the sign-in sheet, and I did send out additional information to those people via email and text. I have not heard back from any of them yet, but hopefully we will.
Please go ahead.
Over the weekend, we did have several really nice conversations with some very nice people who were receptive to what we were saying, whether they follow through on it or not. And your guess would be as good as mine. But I just have to wait and see. Well, thank you again, everybody. I yield.
If I may.
Please.
John, if you think it's appropriate, I would like that list of people, and what do you think about, I'll start sending them the newsletter. They can always opt out.
Yes, that was my opinion, and one of the reasons I was suggesting people would sign up was so they could get the newsletter and be appraised of what's going on.
I feel like it would, yeah, I agree. Good. Thank you for your input, and anybody else that wants to chime in.
I mean, if we thought it was necessary, we could hold a vote on it, but I don't see that that's really necessary. I think it's just a function of signing up. You're going to get the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I can email, take a picture of the list and send it to you.
Okay.
The one gentleman we had that did sign up, he's from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
I tried every way to Sunday to read his email, and I used several different emails, and it came back undeliverable. So I have no idea what his actual email is.
Okay.
Everybody else is either an email address or a telephone number. So the text, I did text the phone numbers, and the emails that I had, I sent, and they all went out. But I will send you the list, Kim.
Great. Awesome. Yeah.
Any other comments? Well, I'm going to go ahead and start the meeting officially. Welcome to the Connecticut General Assembly meeting. We are standing on our land and soil jurisdiction nation called Connecticut. We are here to restore our birthright government, a Republican form of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. A government whose primary duty is protecting your individual, unalienable rights, freedoms, and property. You and I are stepping forward to voluntarily serve our fellow Connecticuters in pursuit of this ongoing challenge. We are assembled here to focus our time and effort by studying, sharing, organizing this organic body into a coherent working group, committees, affirming for the greater good of all the people of Connecticut's 8 counties. Thank you for stepping forward as a volunteer, reclaimer, and restorer. So now we'll do the Bivens decision, safeguard the meeting. John, would you like to do that?
Sure. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the first time? Hearing none, is there a response to the Bivens decision for the second time? Hearing none, is there a response to the Bivens decision for the third time? anyone who is here under false pretenses, anyone who is working for any foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave the premises. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose. Hearing none, I turn the meeting back over to Tom.
Thank you, John. So now we'll do our county roll call. So if you are on this county as I call it out, please say aye. Fairfield County.
Aye.
Litchfield County. Hartford County. Middlesex County.
Here.
New London County.
Present.
New Haven County. Present. Tolland.
Present.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Tolland County. And lastly, Windham County. All right, excellent. So we just went through probably the most important thing we've done recently, the Brooklyn Fair. And I think we have a lot of that recorded, maybe entirety. But hopefully those who attended were able to bring some orientation materials home with them so that they have stuff that they can hand out. If not, we'll try and figure out a way we can send trifolds either by mail or meet up somewhere. Was everyone able to get the cards and trifolds they needed?
Yes.
Let's see now. I guess the main thing now would be the business we had been, old business that we had been attending to, things like the notice which John Taylor sent out. And maybe, John, you can give us a little bit of a wrap-up on how that went and where you stand with that right now.
I assume you're talking about the letter to the de facto?
Correct.
Yeah, that was a joke. I sent it. I got a response back from the Secretary of State. It was basically a form letter stating that they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how we wanted them to file it. So I don't know if we want to send out a second letter of the same type, or if we want just want to cut our losses and leave it at that. But I haven't heard back from them at all. I did send out letters to all of the news personalities at Newsmax, and that was sent out prior to the letter I sent out to de facto, and I have heard absolutely nothing from any of them, which kind of it doesn't surprise me. I even had written a letter to the president, Mr. Trump, with no response. And again, that was sent out about the same time I sent out the letters to the Newsmax folks.
Well, should we put out a general call for whether what everyone thinks, whether they'd like to reapproach the letter with a different presentation or sending it to different folks? Why don't we just go through a basic roll call and see who stands on what? Why don't we start with you, Kim? Tell us how you feel, which way we should go with this letter.
I recall reading it. I don't have it in front of me, but in general, if it wasn't asking for any kind of, if we're not asking for something and we're just noticing, making a statement or anything like that, I don't think we should bother resending it just because they don't respond. I mean, I don't really expect much from them personally, so I mean, making our presence known and making statements and notices is awesome. I think we should do that. But if we don't get responses, I don't think wasting our time continuing to do the same thing is really necessary. I yield.
Yeah, and well stated. Probably what I should have done is ask John to reread the letter. But essentially what it's doing is telling them to stand down on a bunch of things. You know, from kids' issues and DEIA and a whole bunch of things to stand down on, pointing out their criminality.
Perfect. Yes, I recall that now. Yes, and I think that's awesome. I love it that we're doing that kind of thing, and we'll probably be doing more, especially as PKTF comes, more into play, and we have more people on our assembly, and we're getting ready to start really reaching out to these clowns and get ready to put them in their box. But we're not there yet. So I think notices are awesome. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't think we need to spend time or money remailing or anything. That's just my opinion.
Sure. No, that's. I'm trying to get everyone's opinion so we can move forward however we should. How about you, Eugene? How do you feel about this letter of John's?
Well, actually, it's normal they didn't respond because they're not supposed to.
Correct. Response would be admission of guilt.
Right. It's not only that. I mean, this is like a dead people, they cannot respond to you.
Right.
Your life, and they're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. Did you address them as a public position officer or in personal capacity as well?
I don't.
If I may, it was a general letter sent to the Secretary of State because it's her job to notice the rest of the government. So if we send a letter to her, she's the agent that's supposed to pass the information on to the different departments, which is why we sent it. We sent it to her. It was just a general letter, and I really didn't expect a lot out of it. And I feel kind of the same way Kim did.
Right.
But you got to shake the tree to get the fruit.
Well, if you don't push, we won't know, right? If we do nothing, we can expect nothing. But if we do something, we might have a chance of getting something. Anyway, please go ahead.
Actually, if I continue, by UCC rule, you have to send 3 times.
Correct. If you're doing,
they responded, but once you send 3 times, it's accepted. Okay. If they say something, it's not our business to do anything. It's what is called.
Well, it becomes cured.
Arguing.
Right. It becomes cured. Right. If they don't respond.
When they objected, it's called arguing. This means in dishonor. Okay. Which is accepted too.
Right, but
That's
giving
true.
them.
Yeah, Eugene has a point. That is true, everything he's saying. So if we wanted to send the same exact letter,
just send the same one. Just say second notice, and then once they receive it, send the third one. Just write it the same one. Just put a line, second notice.
Yep, exactly.
Third notice. That's it.
Wouldn't hurt. Yep.
That's all we need to do.
If I understand correctly, too, you can send the second and third notice in the same envelope.
Well, I mean, it's not really, because if there is some danger that you have to go to court, and then in that case you have to accelerate. You can accelerate. And
Oh,
you
okay.
can mention
Okay.
that. But in this case, just wait until they receive it, send a second notice,
Okay.
get confirmation of delivery, a third one, and that's it. It would be
Okay.
enough. So we
Good
completed.
John, would
that's all
you be okay doing that, or do you want to hand it off to me and I can finish the next two? How do you want to do it?
No, that's fine. I mean, I can do it. It's not, I have the letter anyway, so.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's important to have also receipts for delivery.
Correct.
Can you read us the letter, John?
Sure. Give me a moment to pull it up.
Linda, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think he's right. We should just go ahead and do the second and third, so we've done the complete, proper due process. And I'm
Right.
sure we won't get a response, but at least we know we did our part. So.
Right. And it will have time to cure and whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kevin, how about you?
Yeah, Christy teaches, the three notices. So the first one is your first notice, the second one is your opportunity to cure, and the third one is default judgment. And another thing is, in addition to the Secretary of State, Stephanie Thomas, they're talking about including the Solicitor General, who's supposed to know more about land law, and maybe even the Attorney General. So they're more keen on the Solicitor General than they are on the Secretary of State. That's backing up, Christie stuff there. That Eugene, I and Linda, we're in there a lot, listening to what they have to say. And the other thing was, I have put the second and third notice in the same envelope, and that's accelerated notice under UCC 1.309. That's not ideal, but you can do that if you have cause. And I had cause to do it. I was racing deadlines in the court. So ideally, you'd want to spread them out 30 days apart or so, but you can include them, as Kimberly had said. I yield.
It would be called accelerated notice.
Right.
Yes.
Your
Would
case
you
is
like me to read the letter?
Please.
Okay. The letter's dated 23 July 2025. Notice to agents is notice to principals. Notice to principals is notice to agents. To Secretary of State Stephanie Thomas, Attention Capital Office, P.O. Box 10470, Hartford, Connecticut 06115-0470. To our Connecticut governmental subcontractors, as living people expatriated to our birthright as Americans, we are the actual people with the capital P as in we the people, mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution of 1779. We have declared and published our political status as living, breathing Americans, American state citizens. It should have been nationals. I'll have to change that. On the land and soil. As such, we have lawful standing as the employers of the territorial and municipal subcontractor employees owing us good faith service and enumerated governmental services under the same Constitution. This does not include corporate statutes and codes that are repugnant to the same Constitution, most of which you and other, quote, representatives have passed into corporate law to control the masses and fatten your coffers in the process. You have pulled the wool over our eyes for many decades under the color of law. The deceit will not be allowed to continue. The Connecticut Assembly is standing and in session in all 50 states and have standing assemblies. We are declared and superior to your corporate jurisdiction, admiralty law, as the original organic American government. We are on the land and soil jurisdiction, not U.S. citizens, not British territorial citizens, not Roman municipal citizens. We are, quote, we the people, American state nationals, dash Americans. You work for us, honor your obligations, or be replaced. Madam Secretary, we are directing you to pass this notice on to the following offices: Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Solicitor General, Adjutant General, Public Safety Commissioner, Motor Vehicle Commissioner, House of Representatives, and Senate and all corporate government offices. Cease passing such legislation and statutes that violate the common law and all inalienable rights guaranteed by the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Examples of unconstitutional items are atmospheric aerosol injections or chemtrail spraying, geoengineering, mandating vaccinations of any kind as conditions of education or employment, Second Amendment infringements of weapon types, magazine size, and permits, taking any rights secured by the Declaration of Independence or Constitution, converting them into a privilege, and then charging for that privilege is repugnant and unlawful. This includes marriage, driver, hunting, fishing, and many more licenses or permits. Automobile registrations are all unlawful for Americans that are not engaged in commerce. Education has no constitutional basis. All school decisions should be turned over to the parents of the children. We expect schools to return to the job they were intended to do, educate and not indoctrinate. Refrain from DEI and ideologies that are totally unnecessary and damaging to young minds, and get back to important basics. Let children be children without introducing adult concepts. Too much of this kind of, quote, teaching leads to mental distress issues. All of these branches of constitutional guarantees must end. Breaches of constitutional guarantees must end. In the past, it's way past time for this to happen. We demand disclosure of the truth to the general public, for self-governments and peace to return to our state. The Connecticut government owes good faith services to their employers, the people of this beautiful state. While we are restoring the common law courts we hold your court perpetrators personally liable for the fraud and criminal behaviors of your foreign courts, non-disclosure, and misaddressing of Americans. Admiralty law is not for the living people, only corporations. We demand and expect you, our employees, to make movement toward this end immediately. And it's signed by me, the Connecticut Assembly, Marshal at Arms, and I have my autograph with the copyright and my thumbprint.
Excellent.
Very good, John. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So, Rebecca, what do you think now that you've heard it?
I think it's good. But like you say, what do we expect them to do with this information? Nothing.
No, but we're doing a 3-step process, which, like Anna has been doing all along, is curing our claims.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, because there's going to come a time in the future that we might not be able to visualize, but we should practice that. That this is all going to come to around. This isn't for nothing. We are relaying the groundwork, and they really can't get out of it once we get organized and the numbers, bring our courts into session, et cetera, et cetera.
So I think the general consensus for you, John, is that we'd love you to just do a second and third and maybe just add a few details that Kevin and Eugene were highlighting for you. Does that sound reasonable to everyone?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
May I?
I would include the Solicitor General, Michael K. Scold. Maybe the Attorney General, William Tong, too. It's up to you.
Go ahead, Eugene.
Kevin, maybe you have that line in your letters that it's very important also to say that we have this intention. We are not trying to threaten anyone. We just want to get the process done and lawfully and legally to notify our employer. That's all. So this is like a disclaimer not to be accused of paper terrorism or so. It's important.
Right. Very good point. Thank you. What do you think, John? Does that sound good?
I'm kind of lost as what you want me to add there. Is the Attorney General William Tong, and who was the other one, Kevin?
The Solicitor General is Michael K. Scold.
Spell it, the last name, please.
Sure, it's S-K-O-L-D.
S-A-O-L-D?
No, S-K. K as in Kevin. Scold.
Okay. S-K-O-L-D. Okay.
Yep.
So the Solicitor General is the one official of the maritime government who is supposed to know the land law. Basically, his job is to protect the maritime folks from getting attacked by land law. They'd overstep their bounds. Anyway, very important role for them, and obviously a key person who's supposed to know the land law and know that we have the standing and know that what we're saying has weight. That's the general context, I believe. So I think we're all in agreement on this.
If I may just ask another question here, because I did mention Attorney General and Solicitor General in the letter. Should I send separate letters to them as well?
Well, it seemed to me, and Eugene and Kevin can weigh in, but it would seem to me that you need the full three-step process to cure, and maybe we need to redo the first step.
I mean, I guess if you really want to be thorough, the answer is everybody, 3 times, but is that going to make a difference? You decide.
Didn't you say in the letter that you wanted the woman that you addressed the letter to, that you wanted her to pass on the letter? Isn't that what it said?
Yes, because technically it's her job. It's her job.
That is correct. She is the principal of the state. She is the principal. That is the Secretary of State. So notice the principals, notice the agent. She is the principal.
I mean, if you really want to get the letters out, you should probably send them yourself.
But no, because he's correct. It is her job. That is her role. He did direct her to do her job. But if we want to send them directly to the Solicitor General and whoever, but then they would have to receive 3. So you'd have to then continue the same letter 2 more times as is. And if we feel we should, then we would have to send it 3 times, the same letter, but directly to, say, the Solicitor General or something. You can't just do the second and third because he didn't get the first directly to him, you know?
Right.
No, but that's not, I mean, if you want to be technical about it, it is her job to make sure that they get it. And that's what the letter directed them to do.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. And it is instructed in there that she is to forward this information and letter to and you specifically mentioned who they are. So I feel like we're kind of covered. But I just think, if in case you really think that just maybe the Solicitor General directly could be, but then you'd have to start from the first letter with the Solicitor General, so he gets 3. I don't think we have to, is what I'm saying. I think that as it is, it's already been instructed to do that. So I think,
Well,
I don't care either way, whatever,
What I could do is I could send the second letter and notify her the second notice. And then I can send a copy of the first letter that was sent and the response I got to the Solicitor General and say, look, we sent the first notice to them. They didn't do anything. This is what they sent back to me. Now I'm noticing a second time. Here's a copy of the second letter.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
and then when we do the third letter, maybe something will happen and we won't get to the third letter. But I mean,
Right.
Don't you also list in the letter several different things that they want to address, that we want them to address? Like one is the spraying. And should you put all of these things in one letter?
why can't you?
Yeah.
You don't have to direct them as one thing or another. These are all things we know that they're not supposed to be doing. Yet they're doing it.
I know. I'm
A
in
list
agreement
of
with you.
examples.
No, I'm
Yeah,
in
he
agreement with
listed them.
you.
Well, he listed them as an example to what's not in their contract to deal with. And actually, in my mind, it wasn't like there wasn't a call to action at the end of the letter. I mean, yeah, stop doing this things or whatever, but it wasn't like, well, we want to see by X amount of date that you are no longer, doing something. In other words, it was basically like a notice. And there was, not really like an action step they had to take by a certain time to...
Yeah, we want some kind of proof that they're going to do it,
Right.
or they have done it.
Well, if we still see them doing all this weird shit in the schools, then we will know that they've ignored it totally. If we see a little shift, I mean, I don't know.
So a point of order. We've already sent the letter. The letter was basically decided upon by John. And
Right.
all we're really discussing here is what we, as Assembly, were recommending John do with the letter from here on out. We're not going to, unless we want to create our own letter, separate and distinct, and change it, that's not what we're trying to decide here. We're just trying to decide, what's reasonable and most effective way for John to finish the process with the letter. Okay?
I agree. I think we should just let him continue to send the second and the third, and I think that should be sufficient.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Agree.
I mean, if it's like you say, that we're just sort of practicing and we really don't expect them to do anything, I think it's okay.
Think about the history, Rebecca. Anna started this whole process of sending out letters, I think before 2000, 1998 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Started in earnest around 2005, and she sent letters out for a solid 10 years. And then after that period of sending out all those letters, having, no response, she had all this cured evidence, right? It takes time to build that cured evidence, right? And so that's, in essence, maybe this is not perfect or whatever, but it's one piece of the puzzle that we're trying to cure for our state of Connecticut. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree.
Anyway, is that pretty clear, John?
Yes.
Okay. So then the only other piece of old business that really never, at least in my recollection, got fully addressed was the letter that Kim had worked on about the dicot in the Connecticut water. And if you can recall enough, it's been a long time now, but just give us a quick rundown on where all that went and the best you can recall what happened. You do that for us, Kim?
Oh, nothing happened. There's been no response. Oh, I am lying. There was one response. It was who the heck was it from? The governor, or no, what the heck? Let me find it. It was a basic, just like John described. It was a basic. We
Form
got
letter.
your email. Yeah, we do our best. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it was a word salad, basically. It wasn't.
And do we know whether they continued dicot spraying or what happened?
Yeah, I haven't heard much about any more spraying, but they did spray when they said they weren't gonna. And then in Southington at Crystal Lake, a citizen journalist put on Facebook that dead turtles were floating in the water and how
Jeez.
upsetting it was. So yeah. Trying to find the letter. So I'll yield and I'll come back with. I can read it to y'all if you want.
Right. No, I just wanted the update. Would everyone like to hear the letter at this point, or are we moving on at this point?
It was just an email.
Right. We were trying to do a rapid response at the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hearing no objections to that, we can move on to new business. And we could also hear from the committees, but there really isn't a whole lot there that I'm aware of. But perhaps the most exciting new business would be what Kevin is going through. And just a very brief explanation. Kevin has been... Is it okay for me to explain this, Kevin? Are you okay with me doing the brief rundown and you elaborate on your experience?
Sure, please do.
Okay, excellent. Anyway, so Kevin had been going through a nasty divorce. His wife is on Virginia, I believe, and the court had in Virginia that his wife was working through had gotten a restraining order on him, and part of the restraining order was he was not supposed to communicate with his daughter, and he had texted his daughter after he had been sending out a bunch of notices. And when he was mowing his parents' lawn here in Connecticut, this is now probably a month ago, maybe not quite, he was attacked by a bunch of police officers and spent 21 days jail, and then he had a recent court appearance. I believe it was yesterday. I'll let Kevin elaborate on it, but amazing story, and just incredibly courageous individual. Please take the.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Well, the divorce actually wasn't that bad. It was civil. It was through COVID, but a few years after that, things. It's 2 years now. Kind of unraveled a little bit, and my ex, I didn't know it at the time. Even after we got divorced, is a narcissist. I'm new to that, and she will just go whatever end to get her way, and she has a lot of what's called flying monkeys that support her. And I am outnumbered, and it's crazy, but it is what it is. As far as court yesterday, I gave everybody a little bit of a lowdown. It was ultimately a waste of time. I was there for 6 hours, spent maybe 3 or 4 minutes in front of the judge, challenging jurisdiction, and the judge ruled. Oh no, I think the state has enough evidence that we have jurisdiction. It's like no, You're not allowed to rule on jurisdiction. They have to prove it in writing. Here's the Supreme Court case law. And he just says, I disagree. Backs it up with nothing. It's such a joke. It's so rigged. It's so incredible. When you look at the details, you see the defendant loses something overwhelming, like 96+% of the time the defendant loses. It's just a rigged game for money. But I've been brainstorming on every little action that I need to take because, I go to court by myself. So, Tom, I don't know if you heard, I brought a bodyguard with me yesterday. I did also have my 80-year-old mom with me who's, she broke her hip in June, so she's coming over that. And that's all I have, that's my support system. But I know you would ask, hey, you need any of us? I do need one other people there, but it was 6 hours for 4 minutes, and you never know when you're going to be called. And I told everybody. It's beyond ridiculous. You wouldn't believe. all the ring everybody else is going through that has a public defender that doesn't know what's going on. I mean, they're just dead meat, and it's unbelievably painful to watch there all day long. But I did predict that they were going to take me towards the end. I came up, and then they passed on me, which is like putting you in timeout when they don't like what you're saying. The courtroom was almost empty, and then I came back dead last. The courtroom was empty because they don't want everybody hearing what I'm saying, calling out the corporations, the DUNS numbers, the BS. They don't want everybody hearing that. That's not good for their business model. So the bodyguard was like, you called it. They were going to take you last. So sitting there for, you have a 10 a.m. hearing, but you get to court at 9:30, and they didn't call me until 2:30. And it's so ridiculous. So then they have me coming back now on September 2nd. But before then, I'm just going to put a lot of stuff on the docket and just keep telling them, you don't have jurisdiction. No, I'm not playing. You don't have authority. Who gave you authority? Who are you? And the whole time, you know, if the judge gets really pissed at you, he'll call contempt and have you arrested for that, and back to jail I go. So it is a little scary, totally rigged game. We need our own court yesterday. I yield.
So, Kevin, were you able to get stuff put on the record, like the judge's decision that he decided he had jurisdiction and he could ignore the Supreme Court rulings? Did you say to the clerk, let the record show that was the decision?
Right. So I'm pretty sure it was all recorded. I didn't record it myself personally because at first I didn't go past the bar. I stayed on the other side, challenging jurisdiction. I said, I want to come into your jurisdiction. And, you have to come up. No, I'm not coming up. I'm not in your jurisdiction. And so we had that little battle. And then he started threatening with the judicial marshals. And it kind of gets scary because if they come, once you get arrested, back through the whole process, there's several days before you can make a phone call. And, it's so annoying. So hopefully it's on record. But I still, the state has not produced one document yet. So I've called for evidence since July, on or about July 7th. I said, you bring in claims, what are they? What are the charges? I don't know anything. Still haven't, and then I filed an official request for discovery, and supposedly the state has 45 days to produce, but they still have not produced one document. So if we go back to July 7th, I mean, we're coming on 2 months, and they have not produced one document. It just doesn't fit their business model. Like they just want to do bam, thank you, man, and move on to the next. And it's like when you're putting up a fight, they start getting aggravated. So I need those documents so I can mark them up, Eugene's process. I got a whole bunch of things in the back of my bag of tricks to use, but they don't, there's no constitutional law. You are not innocent until proven guilty. There's none of that. It's just pathetic. And as painful as it is, I keep saying that, this experience is something. This is how you learn. This is the steel is forged in the fire. The flowers grow in the valley. So it is what it is. It's an incredible learning experience. And I'm not only worried about myself, but I am worried about all my fellow Americans that have, and all those that came before me. 100 years of people just getting run over by this de facto crime scene. It's unbelievable. And we got to stop them. And we stop them when we get our own court and we pull them in. One judge goes down, the whole entire thing falls apart. That's my opinion.
Yep. Well, of course, whatever they do to you, if you have stuff on the record, then you can take that to an appeal. Not that you necessarily want to fight that way, but that's the one thing that, when it goes to a higher court, they start to get more and more worried that they might be exposed.
Sure. So I'm going. Go ahead, Eugene.
If I understand, this case about your child, right? This case about your child.
So I got a couple felony charges. It starts with the violation of a protective order out of Virginia.
Okay, I got it. Did you record your child as your daughter as your property? Did you?
Yes, that's the Bogey Deed of Loan recording. Absolutely, yes.
Is it published? Your document published on?
Yeah,
Did it get on the LRO?
it is published, yes. Yep, Kimberly took care of that for me in January.
So you have to record it on a court record too. Put in your case.
Yes, I haven't done that yet because I need a lot of documents, the warrants, the this, that, the other thing. And when I get my hands on that stuff, that's when I go mark them up and use Eugene's process, and that's when I put in all my stuff. They haven't seen all of my stuff. They have seen some of it, my declaration of political status that I sent to everybody, including Stephanie Thomas. But I'm waiting for all the, I'm saving that as like a bomb to drop, but I haven't got the documents to mark them all up yet, that they're holding off on that. But I do plan on appealing the judge's decision yesterday. I'm going to go to the court tomorrow, file my own notice of appeal. Well, first I'm going to have to go to the law library and see where does this go after. Does this go to a circuit court, an appeals court? Are they even going to bother doing it? Because it's not like you were found guilty or anything. It's in the middle of it. It's a pretrial hearing where he makes a ruling. Can you even appeal that? Well, I'm going to try and insist that I can, and keep telling them they don't have jurisdiction. And Tom did see my notice that I sent. He liked it, but the judge doesn't even look at that. The judge, he thumbed through it in like 5 seconds, and they don't even pay attention to it. I told him it was a notice in the form of an affidavit declared under penalty of perjury with 2 witness signatures and a notary seal. And he said, I don't even know what that means. That's what the judge said, quote unquote. I don't even know what that means. They don't care. They don't know. Yeah, that was a quote from him.
Maybe he doesn't know.
Well, then you took him to school, Kevin. You should be proud of yourself. I give you all kinds of credit, and I want to just lift you up in prayer and say be strong and just do what you're doing. Each step you're studying, you're doing a wonderful thing here, and I'm sure it's not easy. And so I support you.
Thank you very much for that. I will say that my support group, they kind of want me to get an attorney and fold up, and that's never going to happen. So thank you for that, Kimberly. It means a lot.
Kevin, also, when you record your child, your daughter is your property, you also has notified Secretary of State.
Yes, I did send that to Stephanie Thomas. Absolutely, yep. I did all that back in January when I papered up. Yep.
So you probably have to do it 3 times too. Remember, 3 times notice mean acceptance.
You might be right on that. Back then, I didn't know about the 3-time rule. I'm going to revisit that. So thank you for that. Yep.
So, pretty incredible story, and I think we all echo what Kim just said. We stand behind him 100%, and are incredibly amazed at the tenacity and the fight in Kevin. Wow. But it's for a just cause, and he's breaking ground for us against the criminals here in Connecticut courts. So it's awesome. And we all applaud you very, very heartily. Anyway, it is getting kind of late. I know we did start a little late, but I think that unless there's any new business that anyone would like to bring forward, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Oh, one thing I'm sorry. I did forget to give the date. I did say it was a Connecticut General Assembly, but I didn't give the date. And, of course, today is August 27th, and it's 2025. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to repeat, Tom, because just for recording purposes, you cut out a little bit, so it's
okay. Thank you.
August 27, 2025. And I motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
great work, Kevin. Great work, John. And Eugene, awesome advice. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night.